Kulapati Dr. K. M. Munshi, architect of modern India and Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and father of Indian cultural renaissance. K. M. Munshi ji was born on 30th December 1887 in Bharuch in Gujarat. His father, Shri Manik Lal Narberam Munshi, and mother was Srimati Tapi Bain Munshi. He was the only son of his parents who belonged to Bhargava Brahmin community. Munshi ji completed his schooling in Khan Bahadur Dalal School, after which he pursued his college education in Baroda College. He was particularly drawn by the views of Sri Aurobindo Ghosh, who was his teacher in the Baroda College. In the year 1907, he moved to Bombay to practice law and to complete his LLB and BA examinations. He received a first-class grade with Ambalal Sakarlal Paritoshik by receiving the highest possible English language marks in 1907. He was awarded the Elite Prize and a Bachelor of Arts degree. Along with his legal practice, he also started writing historical fiction and had many novels under his name. After completing his studies, Munshi ji dove into social reform and activism, especially in the areas of women's rights and caste prejudice. He went on to join the Indian National Congress in the year 1916, after which he became a member of the Subjects Committee and also functioned as a secretary of the Bombay Presidency Association. In 1900, he married Atilakshmi Pathak, who died in 1924. In 1926, K. M. Munshi ji married Leelavati Seth, a well-known literary critic. This marriage raised some eyebrows as Leelavati was older to Munshi ji, and more importantly, she was a widow. But Munshi ji did not pay heed to these structures and openly claimed Leelavati to be one of his intellectual inspirations. Leelavati was a constant companion of Munshi ji throughout his whole life. Munshi ji played a very key role in making the Constitution of India under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Known for his legal acumen, Munshi ji was invited to be a part of the committee which drafted the Constitution of India under the chairmanship of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. In the drafting committee, Munshi ji articulated the principles of fundamental rights in Part 3 of the Constitution of India. Munshi ji was a literary genius. He was one of the greatest writers in Gujarat. He wrote under the pen name of Ghanshyam Vyas. Krishnavatara, a 7-volume work, is one of the finest books on Sri Krishna. He also wrote books on the Somnath Temple, Parashuram, and Prithvi Vallabh, a historical novel of the Malwa region. Prithvi Vallabh has been made into a movie twice, the last by Saurabh Modi in 1943. Munshi ji's role in India's independence movement was tremendous. Munshi ji was an active participant in the freedom struggle. He extended legal counsel to a number of freedom fighters who were detained by the British, and also participated in the Bardoli Satyagraha, Salt Satyagraha, and the Quit India movement. He contributed to our constitution making as well. Munshi ji was elected to the Constituent Assembly from Bombay on a Congress party ticket. He was one of the most active members of the Assembly, being a member of 16 committees and subcommittees including the drafting committee. Some of his interventions were in the debates relating the fundamental rights, citizenship, and minority rights. The founding of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, as conceived by Munshi ji, was founded in 1938, a good decade before India got political independence. He was then just 50 years old. To Munshi ji, Bharatiya Vidya was a fountain of eternal knowledge, based upon universal and unflinching values and which absorbed into itself noble thoughts from all sources, irrespective of region, religion, or race. Bharatiya Vidya was based, according to Munshi Ji, on the inalienable principles of Satyam, Shivam and Sundaram, truth, goodness and beauty, all of which are the basic features of every religion in the world. Munshi Ji wanted to give a physical form to these metaphysical concepts and thus germinated the thought of an institution to promote, propagate and spread this universal education. Thus was born the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. To reflect these evergreen and indestructible ideals of human existence, the motto of Bhavans is the statement from the Rig Veda,
Ano Bhadraha Kratavoyantu Vishwataha.
Let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Recognized today as an institution of national eminence by the Government of India, Bhavans occupies a pride of place as an apolitical, non-governmental organization fighting against all religious differences, regional prejudices and social discriminations. Stalwarts like C. Rajagopalachari and Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan were the founding members of the Bhavans. Steeped in austere living style himself, Rajaji remarked of Munshi Ji as verily a Raja Yogi and that royal living was almost his second nature. An eye-opening incident is recalled by Sri S. Ramakrishnan, a long-term associate of Munshi Ji. In 1962, just on the morning of the Silver Jubilee celebrations of the Bhavans, Munshi Ji had donated all his properties to the Bhavans. This was brought to the notice of Rajaji. Dr. Radhakrishnan was also present at the function. Rajaji then remarked,
"Here is a worldly man living the ideal of Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitaha, enjoying in renunciation."
And Dr. Radhakrishnan said instantly,
"With all my philosophy, I certainly could not have steeled myself to do such a thing like this."
To Sri Ramakrishnan, Bhavans and Kulpati Munshi Ji are synonymous. The Bhavans, his lengthened shadow, is a vibrant symbol of the continuing modern Indian Renaissance which Raja Ram Mohan Roy pioneered in Bengal in the 19th century. Munshi Ji envisioned that India will once again be acknowledged as the Vishwaguru, a superpower that embodies the ideals of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the global family. This is the foundation on which he built this institution, the Bhavans. In the words of the eminent jurist M.C. Chagla,
a silver thread of continuity ran through all his scintillating comments, and the thread was a passion for India's greatness, be it in the past, present or future. Munshi Ji built the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan with the devotion of one engrossed in raising a temple. The Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is a Somnath of learning. For 64 years, people have sought it out from far and near in what has merely been a pilgrim's progress of this Somnath. Kulpati Munshi was the Sthapati, sculpture, architecture, not less than the Kulpati. He conceived of the Bhavans, raised it brick by brick, combining as he did so both the breadth of vision and a grasp of detail. Naturally, both the design and its execution turned out to be masterly.
the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan is not an institution, it is a movement, a cause. Its objects from the very start were to encourage the study of all aspects of Indian culture, to help in its reintegration and to study and spread the fundamentals of Aryan culture. The Bhavan will be an association which will organize active centers where ancient Aryan learning is studied and where modern Indian culture is provided with a historical background.